Discord's new business. Written by Night Mysterio.
I'm the real Jonathan.
I'm the real Night Mysterio.
I'm the real Spires.
Customer 2, Applejack.
A Minotaur?
Applejack said. Discord blinked.
I must admit, I didn't see that coming.
He said. Applejack grinned.
Yeah, finally got one over on you, eh?
She asked. Discord smirked.
Took you long enough.
He teased.
Anyway, Minotaur, any particular reason? You seen how buff these Minotaurs get? Imagine all it could haul with these big ol' arms. Less complicated than messing with harnesses, too. I just gotta pick up with the baskets and haul them away.
Discord stared at her.
So, you want to become a Minotaur to get some extra work done on the farm, despite supposedly taking a day off. Yep.
Applejack said, smirking.
So, you're cheating.
Discord said.
Yep.
Applejack said, grinning even wider.
And you admit it.
Discord asked.
Element of honesty, remember?
Applejack said, shrugging. Discord's mouth slowly curled up into a smile.
I like you,
he said, snapping his fingers. There was a poof, and Applejack found her hooves unfolding, turning into hands. She stood up, her body becoming bipedal as her horns grew out of either side of her head. Her fur, mane, and eye color stayed the same, and her cutie mark remained on her hips, but the changes aside from that were near total. Her tail became whip-like, with only a tuft of blonde at the end, while the rest was orange-furred. Apple-shaped white patches appeared on her fur as her muzzle changed to be more bull-like. A ring appeared in her nose, and her chest bulged out. Her fur thickened from the waist down, covering the necessary parts there, and giving the impression she was wearing pants, while a red top appeared to cover her new bosom.
The heck?
Applejack said.
Wow, there are teats on my chest. Minotaurs call them udders.
Discord said.
Humans have so many lovely names for those fat globes. Dohan kangaroos, gazongas, belugalugadamagas.
Humongous homonologongongas!
And honestly, how do you think bipedal creatures nurse their young?
Applejack looked thoughtful, looking down at her chest, and nodded.
Okay, makes sense when you think about it,
she said, nodding.
But what about the nose ring? Oh, cultural thing. Minotaurs were a slave race back in the day.
Discord said.
They freed themselves and kicked the horse apples out of their slavers. Now, the nose rings are more of a dare. Put a chain on me and see what happens to you.
Applejack smiled.
I like that,
she said. She looked over her muscular arms flexing.
Yeah, okay, this feels good. Thank you kindly, Discord.
Discord nodded.
Have fun,
he said as Applejack tromped off. As they left, he felt something underneath his table. He looked and found Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash hiding underneath it.
Hi,
Pinkie Pie said, grinning nervously.
If Cranky asks, we're not here. Botched a prank?
Discord asked.
I forgot he's sensitive about his toupees.
Fluttershy said, embarrassed. Discord snickered.
What did you do?
Well,
Fluttershy said. Before any of them could say anything, Cranky's toupee walked up to Discord, carrying a golf club on its back. It handed Discord a button saying, "Vote toupee," and strode off, whistling a ridiculous song.
just like in real life.
Discord grinned.
Ah, the living hairpiece,
he said. Rainbow Dash snickered.
Yeah, but now Cranky's chasing us with a warhammer, so we're gonna hide until he calms down.
Discord nodded.
Your secret's safe with me, girls,
he said.
I'll always protect a fellow troublemaker.
Pinkie giggled, hugging him.
You're the best,
she said.
That I am,
Discord said, smirking.
In the meantime, how do you feel about messing with Applejack?
Fluttershy fidgeted.
I was kinda hoping to wait until Cranky calmed down.
Now he's a sturdy old cuss.
Discord said.
He'll be fine. I'll give him a swag new do later. That being said, Applejack was just by here.
Oh yeah?
Rainbow Dash asked.
What'd you get?
Minotaur,
Discord said. Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash stared.
Seriously?
Rainbow Dash asked.
I mean, I know they've got some cool history. The Wonderbolts helped them in their rebellions against the slavers centuries ago, but...
Realization dawned and Rainbow Dash groaned.
Don't tell me she's going straight back to the farm!
Discord just nodded, smirking.
She wanted to try a different work body,
he said.
AJ, I am disappointed.
Rainbow Dash said. Fluttershy grinned, an idea coming to her.
I think I have a plan, but I have to talk to a friend about it. Go to Sweet Apple Acres and be ready.
She snapped her fingers and vanished. Discord, grinning wickedly, snapped his fingers and made a clone of himself with a camcorder.
I have to see this,
he said.
Go with them.
The clone saluted, following Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie as they dashed off to the farm.
Later.
I can't believe you just wanted a different body to work in,
Apple Bloom said, grumbling at her sister. The Minotaur chuckled. She kicked the tree with a single leg, her powerful limbs shaking all the apples off of it.
I'm still on my day off. Days off are supposed to be relaxing, sis.
Apple Bloom protested.
Protestingly.
And there's nothing more relaxing than good old-fashioned hard work.
Applejack countered, picking up the apples that didn't make it into the basket. Hands really were quite useful.
Cheater.
Apple Bloom said.
So much for honesty.
Applejack smirked.
Now hold on there. I agreed to take the day off, and what I do on my day off is my business, right?
She said.
I guess.
Apple Bloom muttered. Applejack chuckled.
I didn't lie, Sugar Cube. I just got a different idea of what's relaxing than you do.
She said, ruffling her sister's mane.
Now come on, let's get these baskets back into the barn. Harvest has been great this year.
Apple Bloom sighed, giving up. She let Applejack place a pair of baskets on a saddle, loading them up with apples. Applejack herself picked up the two heaviest baskets, lifting them onto her shoulders. They walked back to the barn, chatting idly, only for the path back to the barn to turn into a metal pathway.
What in tarnation?
Applejack said as she walked. A rather upbeat half-metal, half-country tune began to play. When they reached the clearing, Applejack and Apple Bloom's jaws dropped. An arena of sorts had been set up in the barn. A roped-off raised platform, a battle ring, was set in the middle of the barn. In the stands, Granny Smith, a camera-wielding Discord, and several different types of electric fan were there, all cheering wildly. Rainbow Dash floated nearby, wearing a black and white striped shirt, while at the ringside, Big Macintosh and Fluttershy was sitting at a folding table, wearing electronic headsets. Big Macintosh wore a black Stetson hat, and had a bottle of barbecue sauce nearby, also wearing a Stetson hat. While Fluttershy was wearing regal robes and a crown. In the center of the ring was Pinkie Pie, holding a microphone.
First,
Pinkie Pie said, the mare clad in a black tuxedo.
Entering the ring, hailing from Sweet Apple Acres, weighing in at 400 pounds of solid apple-bucking muscle, the queen of kick, the engine of honesty, Applejack!
The fans all cheered, Discord grinning at the befuddled look on Applejack's face as he recorded it. Granny Smith, meanwhile, just watched everything with amusement, pouring apple butter on her popcorn.
The heck's going on?
Applejack muttered. Apple Bloom, suddenly getting it, grinned and pushed Applejack towards the ring. Applejack barely managed to put the bushels down in time before dropping them. Glaring at Apple Bloom, who giggled and joined Granny Smith in the stands, she looked at Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash with frustration.
Come on, I got work to do.
Not right now, you don't.
Rainbow Dash said, smirking. New music started up, a hard rock theme. The lights went out, a spotlight focusing on a blue Minotaur in a tie as he posed at the entranceway, grunting and flexing his muscles. Fireworks went off around him.
And her opponent, hailing from Labrina, weighing in at 500 pounds of raw motivational strength. The champion, the bull who takes no bull, the assertive annihilator, the motivational mastermind, Iron Will.
Yeah!
Iron Will said.
Iron Will's here to show this fun-chucking cow how real Minotaurs play.
Applejack face-palmed.
Y'all gotta be kidding me.
Looks like we got a real slobber knocker on our hooves, Queen.
Big Macintosh said, turning to look at a Discord cameraman that appeared.
I'm BM, Big Macintosh, here with Flutter, the Queen Shyler, and you're watching PWF Friday Night Raw. Yay!
Fluttershy cheered. Applejack just glared at the two of them and then shook her head, turning to Iron Will as he strutted into the ring.
I'm sorry about this. Iron Will, right? Fluttershy mentioned you attended one of your motivational classes, but it backfired.
Iron Will nodded.
Iron Will has since refined his techniques to account for all personality types, but we're not here for that today. Iron Will has volunteered to come teach you what it means to really be a Minotaur. Strength, freedom, and wrestling.
Before Applejack could react, Iron Will flipped forward, wrapping his legs around her head, and then flipping backward, carrying Applejack with her and slamming her down. The fans in the audience cheered, as did Apple Bloom.
Whee! Ooh, surprised AJ's horns didn't get embedded in the ring with that one, BM.
Fluttershy said.
A devastating Hurricane Rana from Iron Will.
Big Macintosh said.
As the Applejack recovers, Iron Will struts his stuff in the ring.
Applejack slowly picked herself up. She dusted her hat off and glared at Iron Will, who was indeed posing and flexing, ascending a turnbuckle to rally the crowd of fans. She grunted and tossed her hat to Applebloom.
All right, partner.
She said.
You want to wrestle? Let me show you how an apple gets down.
She ran up to Iron Will and grabbed him by the waist, suplexing him off of the turnbuckle.
Oh!
Big Macintosh said.
A daring counter from Applejack. Can she turn this around? No way, BM.
Fluttershy said.
Iron Will's the champ. Your sister's good, but Iron Will's unbeatable.
Iron Will rolled to his feet, dazed a little but smirking.
Now we're getting somewhere,
he said, charging her. Applejack charged right back, the two of them locking horns as their heads slammed together. A pushing match ensued as the two vied for dominance. Eventually, Applejack's greater leg strength started to win out. A grin came to her face as she started pushing Iron Will back. But experience won out in this exchange. Iron Will flipped his head up, breaking the hold, and chopped Applejack across the chest. He then immediately followed it with a bulldog slam, grabbing Applejack's head in a headlock and running forward, slamming it down. Applejack grimaced, rubbing at her neck as she rolled to her feet. As Iron Will charged again, Applejack launched a dropkick, catching Iron Will in the chest with enough force to send him flying back into the ropes. He staggered forward, Applejack following up with a clothesline that sent Iron Will sprawling.
Yeah!
Applejack crowed.
How do y'all like that?
She flexed for the crowd, the fans cheering wildly as Big Macintosh and Fluttershy provided commentary. The temporary Minotaur was feeling great, the feel of an actual challenge sending a thrill through her. Before she could fully enjoy it though, Iron Will grabbed her legs, knocking her over. He wrapped her legs around one of his own and turned over, pulling Applejack into a submission hold.
Ah!
She yelped. Her legs bent at an awkward, painful angle. She scrabbled to escape to try and grab the ropes, but Iron Will's grip was as solid as his name.
Let me go.
Not until you submit.
Iron Will said, sitting down on her back and bending her legs even further, pinning her in the center of the ring.
When Iron Will's grip says submit, then you better quit.
Yes!
Fluttershy cheered.
The sharpshooter's never been beaten.
Applejack grimaced, her legs in pain from the hold. She couldn't get leverage to break her legs free, Iron Will's arms strong enough to match her mighty legs. She struggled, but couldn't get free.
All right, I'm done.
Applejack said, tapping the mat. A Discord rang a bell, Iron Will letting Applejack go. Rainbow Dash raised Iron Will's arm triumphantly as his music played, the crowd cheering wildly.
The winner and still champion, Iron Will.
Pinkie Pie yelled. Applejack rubbed her legs, grumbling. Iron Will knelt down beside her.
Thanks for the match,
She said.
That was fun.
He offered his hand for a fist bump. Applejack glared at him for a moment, and then shook her head, fist bumping back.
Sure thing, partner. I don't mind a tussle now and then.
She said. To her surprise, Iron Will blushed.
And, if you're interested, I'm gonna be in town for a while, or maybe the next time you're a Minotaur, and, oh, come on, Iron Will, you're an assertiveness trainer.
He coughed, taking a deep breath to calm himself.
I think you're a real pretty cow and want to take you on a date sometime.
Applejack blushed, startled.
Sure, I'll think about it.
She said. Iron Will beamed and trotted out of the barn. Fluttershy snapped her fingers, the costumes and arena and fans vanishing. Applebloom ran over to hug Applejack.
I'm sorry you didn't win, sis.
You'll always be the champion to us, little sis.
Big Macintosh said. Applejack blushed, grinning and hugging her family.
Aw, shucks.
She said.
Thank you kindly.
Rainbow Dash giggled.
That whole thing was awesome! You gonna meet up with him again?
She asked.
Well,
Applejack said, a slow grin coming to her face.
Maybe.
Rainbow Dash grinned.
Epic wrestling flank, and we may have gotten a friend a date.
She said, high-hoofing Pinkie Pie. Fluttershy smiled.
Thanks for playing along,
She said. Applejack put her hat back on.
Shoot, I know why you did it, so I ain't mad, and I did have fun.
She hugged the Draconicus.
But if y'all are gonna do this sort of thing again, I'd appreciate a little warning.
Fluttershy grinned wickedly.
But the best part of Chaos is the surprise.
Our Discord has a terrible influence on you.
Granny Smith said flatly.
Yeah.
Fluttershy laughed.
In town the next day!
Discord was watching a recording of the match with amusement. He'd already handled a few customers and was enjoying himself.
Hey.
Said a voice. Discord looked around for a bit, before looking down and spotting Spike standing there.
What's up?
Discord asked.
Certainly not your height.
Spike rolled his eyes.
I know what I want to turn into.
He said. Discord snorted.
If it's anything other than unicorn, I'll be surprised.
That gave Spike pause, the dragon actually starting to think about it. Discord quirked an eyebrow, interested.
Oh, for the record, I'm adding Diamond Dog to the list of standard choices.
Spike just nodded, thinking.
Oh, I want to be a real boy.
To be continued.